Hello there, Larry. Hi.
Hello, Tim. There you are.
Sorry about the delay.
Good, good.
Computers and all that. It said you have to update Zoom because I'm not in my home here, so I'm at my girlfriend's, so I had to do all the necessary technical stuff.
Of course, that happens.
You all right?
Yeah, I can hear you just fine. It's okay. It's okay if you're not on video. No big deal.
Oh, I'm not on video. Oh, sorry.
Oh,
there we are.
There we are. Okay.
Sorry about that.
Fantastic. Okay, before we start, I was wondering if I could ask you to record a quick promotional trailer for this podcast.
Yeah.
I'm going to send you a quick script here in chat.
Okay. Chat. Okay. In chat. Hang on.
Yeah, there should be a chat button at the bottom of the screen.
Yeah. Chat. Got that.
And
oh yeah.
You can voice it any way you like. I use it at the beginning of the show to kind of get people started. So
okay, I'll try to do it in my own voice rather than.
That's perfect. Listen
to the Doctor Who Collectors Podcast. Okay, ready? Hello, this is Tim Treloar, and I play the third Doctor Who for Big Finish Productions. You are listening to the Doctor Who Collectors Podcast. Keep collecting.
Perfect. Thank you so much. Awesome. Okay. What I'm going to do, I have a little introduction that I'm going to read, and I'll introduce you and we can get going if you're ready to go here.
Sure.
Okay. And now it's time for our main story on the Doctor Who Collectors Podcast. When I started watching Doctor Who in September 27th, 1975, and the man that appeared on my screen was Jon Pertwee as Doctor Who, I never stopped watching the show. 48 years later, I still watch the show, and it was just a big impression on me as a young fan. In 1985, I got to meet Jon Pertwee and had a conversation with him, and it was like a dream come true in my life. I bought his book, Moon Boots and Dinner Suits, directly from him, and he signed it in front of me. Sadly, Jon passed away in 1996, but played the third Doctor not only during the 70s run, but in many appearances after that run. My guest today is Tim Treloar, and he plays the third Doctor for Big Finish Productions, and I've personally never heard a better voicing of Jon Pertwee's voice than his. Welcome to the podcast, Tim.
Thank you very much, Larry. Thank you very much for having me, and what a lovely introduction.
Oh, thank you. You're welcome. So, of course, my first question, did you ever get to meet Jon Pertwee in your life?
Unfortunately, I didn't. No. Obviously, I know quite a bit about him through the likes of Katie and
yes,
and Richard Franklin. But no, sadly, I didn't get to meet him. No, I've met quite a few of the other Doctors, having worked with them. Tom Baker and Colin Baker, and, Paul McGann, Sylvester McCoy. I've got quite a few connections with Doctor. Actually, my first agent. Her grandfather was William Hartnell, and my first theatre job for the Royal Shakespeare Company was with David Troughton.
Oh wow, yes, yeah. So you've got those connections, absolutely. My meeting with Jon Pertwee was completely accidental. In '85, we had this large convention here in Chicago called TARDIS 22. And there were 20 Doctor Who guests that were invited to this thing. It was the first big event ever done. And I had a shop here called Bundles from Britain. So I used to sell Doctor Who items. And we had a table at the convention. And of course, Saturday morning, the doors opened, and the first person through the door was Jon Pertwee. And he walked right up to our table and looked down and said, "Look at all this stuff." And it was just, and picked up a copy of Cave Monsters and held it up and said, "Do you think the likeness is good?" And just kept and went on we were just, of course, I should let you know, my partner at the time, you know very well, it was Gene Smith.
Yeah.
Back in the day. So we're both standing there with our jaws on the floor with Jon Pertwee in front of us. And then it lasted about 5 minutes before his handler found him and said, "Mr. Pertwee, you've got an autograph session that started without you." And he's like, "But wonderful. I want to see here. I want to see this." He's like, later. So they dragged him out, and I still have that copy of the book that he sold me here, and it's a wonderful book. I know I sent you the title to add to your reading list a while
Yes.
back, but it is one of the most. There are so many funny stories in here. His career started with nobody could pronounce his name. And yeah, in the opening line here, he said he kept being called Jan, and he's like, who's Jan? And they said, yeah, you, Jan Putrid. And, so he had quite a bit of those stories. But let me just ask right away, how did you develop the voice of the Third Doctor? Because I've listened to it, and I'm like, sometimes I'm closing my eyes and I cannot distinguish if it could have been Jon Pertwee speaking it or you speaking it. So how did you develop that?
Well, it came from my first ever job for Big Finish, actually, was in Destination Nerva, which was
yes.
Fourth Doctor story with Tom Baker. And I was playing a Victorian zombie lord, an imperialist, who was out there conquering space for the British Empire, as you do. And so I had this sort of quite sort of very sort of posh voice for him, very sort of fair, because he was quite evil. But I thought instead of doing a moustache twirling villain, I thought I'd do something more dastardly and quite sort of light. And Tom said to Nick during the recording, he said, "Who is he? He sounds like someone. He sounds like someone." They couldn't work it out, and then suddenly during the middle of the recording session, she went, "It's Jon! It's Jon! It's Jon!" So wow. it came from that, really, and then eventually here I am today, after having been asked, I think in 2014, to start doing the Third Doctor, which was, I think, their first recast. It was felt that a respectful time had passed.
Yes.
And so obviously I've developed it from then by watching videos and listening to clips. And so I'm always still, every time I record a Third Doctor episode, I'm always looking for new little nuances and new approaches to the character, trying to find the softness at certain times, and just trying to recreate somehow that wonderful voice of his. I'm not an impressionist.
Right.
So I'm well aware it's not an exact replication, and I probably wouldn't want it to be, because I think if you try and exactly replicate someone's voice, then you lose the acting as well. So
right.
It's more the essence of his voice and of his Doctor that I'm trying to tap into. So yeah, that's it, really.
Wow. That's incredible. And of course, I know it's not, to be, and you're right, to be exact would be, would lose some of what you put into the roles. And I've listened to many of the adventures where you voice the role, and it's really quite, for me, of course, Jon was my Doctor growing up, and I still have a strong connection to that. So of course, how did you get in with Big Finish in the first place?
Well, I was at a party, I think, in a park, and John Dorney, writes Big Finish and script edits and acts in some of the productions. He was, I think, a couple of years above me in drama school, and he came up to me and he said, "You won the Carlton Hobbs competition, didn't you?" A Carlton Hobbs competition is a competition run by the BBC Radio Drama Company for new graduates, and I was lucky enough to be one of the winners of it, which gave me a 6-month contract with BBC Radio. Nice. And so he said, "Oh, we must get you in for Big Finish." And a few months later, I got my agent called me and said, "Would you like to be in Destination Nerva?" So with Tom Baker, which was great because he was my Doctor, Tom.
Yes.
So that was a buzz, obviously, meeting him for the first time and doing that. And it came from there. It's just sort of snowballed, and I've been very lucky, and it's all about chance, isn't it? And luck and right time, right place, and all that sort of stuff.
Usually is. That's how when I meet wonderful people like yourself, it's usually because I'm happen to be where I'm at and say, "Oh wow, hey," and of course it also helps that Lauren Cornelius was a big advocate for me. So that was she and I connected a few years ago, and it was really nice to meet you all. And by the way, it was meeting you at Chicago TARDIS. What was your impression of that convention?
Oh, I loved it. I went before in 2016.
Yes, yes.
And obviously we had COVID and stuff after that.
Right, right.
And yeah, and going back was wonderful, fantastic. I always love these conventions. I love doing that. I love meeting people there and being around the fans, and it's just such a warm and friendly and generous environment, and particularly in the States.
Yeah,
It was
yeah.
particularly generous there.
Oh, well, that's great. It's my home convention. I've been part of that for many, many, many years,
Yeah,
and it's a wonderful place to be. And just having just going into Big Finish Island in the dealer's room is a really amazing
yeah.
thing.
And being in Chicago, it's a lovely, beautiful city. I spent a long time, well, not long, I spent about a week after the last convention
Oh, good.
exploring Chicago, having some of your famous pizza pie there.
Oh, yes.
Original. So that was great. In fact, at the last convention, someone bought some pizza and they said, "Oh, Tim, do you want some pizza?" I said, "I'd love to, but I'm gluten-free now."
Oh, yeah, yeah.
I cheated on that particular occasion. I couldn't resist.
You can't beat a Chicago pizza. If you eat
Oh,
a knife and a fork, and you're
oh,
in heaven. It's a great
oh,
thing. It's one of the reasons I love living. I've lived here my whole life. It's just a
right.
wonderful thing.
Beautiful city.
Let's see. Of course, I've actually known Katie Manning since 1985. We've kept in correspondence ever since then, and so she's such a dynamic person. But how is it working with her?
Oh, it's just wonderful. I mean, she's a ball of. She's just a firework. She's that never stops. That never stops going.
Yeah.
She's just a wonderful person. She's so just gentle and generous of spirit. She's such a giving, loving woman, and she's been such an ally and a wonderful help for me, encouraging me and telling me stories about Jon. Well, on particular lines, she'll look at me and say, "Oh, he would do it like using this gesture," because obviously I know we're on audio. However, you still have to put some sort of physical acting into that. So there'll be either hands on hips or the tap of on the chin and the arm folded and the musing and the hand behind the neck. So she'll help you with that. She's just wonderful, and she's just a massive ball of life, isn't she?
Yes. Oh gosh. Yes. I know. She of course, just when I got to know her back, she came to the convention in the 80s and she gave me her home address and said, "Write me." So I did. Yeah. And then as years and technology improved, we follow each other on Twitter now. So we write Twitter messages back and forth. And of course, every time she comes to Chicago, she makes time to spend with me, which is really nice. So it was really great. She's just and of course she wasn't she was my first Doctor Who episode was The Mutants Part 1. That was Chicago showed them out of order. Nobody sent them a program guide or anything. They just sent the film and said, "Okay, this is the order we got them in." So they showed them Mutants, and then they went to Ambassadors of Death, and then they went to Inferno. So we got Katie Manning on the first volley, and it was just an amazing pairing, those two for Doctor Who. I think even though I love Carol and John too, she was great, and Liz Sladen later, but the Joe Grant years, and now of course the third Doctor's popularity is even more strong with the new release of that Blu-ray series that just came out or just announced. Starting with Day of the Daleks and Curse of Peladon and some of these great stories that have been remastered and recolored and redone. And Katie just did a wonderful trailer for that. And of course, that means more people are, and I know this from talking with Jason at Big Finish, that the Third Doctor Adventure series that you're part of is a very popular series.
Yes, that's great for me. Long may that continue. And of course, and The Mutants is one of the stories that I use to get into the voice. I've got several clips on my phone that I'll go into on the studio, because that's a great story. I mean, my favorite is The Demons.
Oh yeah, that's also a good one.
So The Mutants I know very well, and it's great that the Third Doctor is so popular. It means that we keep making new stories, which is fantastic. I think we're going to record another one in a month or so. I'm going to see Katie. I think she's doing Gallifrey. I'm doing LA Gallifrey.
Yes.
A week. I think she's going to that. So I'll have her hanging around me for about 4 days. What we get word in edgeways.
You'll be awake for the whole weekend.
Yeah.
My favorite Jon Pertwee story is Day of the Daleks.
Oh, yeah.
And one of the reasons is that he has one of the greatest lines that he ever delivers as he becomes the Time Lord in that episode, when he finds out that it's a temporal paradox, and he says, "You're trapped in a temporal paradox, you know, he's like shaking his fist at him. It's like, now I gotta fix this, because you messed this up, and it's like this I'm on this, and of course he stands with that cape and the tuxedo. It's just one of the reasons I thought, wow, that is the Doctor. He really came out in, and of course on January 1st, 1970, the very first issue of Radio Times that came out was him on the cover. This is the actual Radio Times.
Look at that.
And so he came out in full color. Not the first time. I mean, Patrick Troughton was on a cover color in '68, but this was a pretty amazing thing, because on the listing, and it's hard to show on the screen, but it says color, new series in bold letter, because Doctor Who is the first time in color. You know, we regenerated so hard it came into color, and it was really quite something. And of course, his image then became very iconic. The first book released was The Auton Invasion by the late Chris Achilleos, did his image there. And of course, his marketing even continued. This is, I don't even know if you're aware of this gem here, but this is the Jon Pertwee Book of Monsters.
Oh no,
it's not a Doctor Who book. It's his musings on monsters. And
wow.
So this came out, I think just a couple of years before his passing. But did you ever get to listen to, he kind of did something unique. John was part of a couple of radio broadcasts that were kind of pre-Big Finish, The Paradise of Death and The Ghosts of End Space. And he did them the same year he passed away. It was like his last appearance as the Doctor. Have you ever heard those? I
haven't heard them. I'm aware of them.
Yeah, they just came out with a vinyl collection of those, and of course, Nicholas Briggs and Elizabeth Sladen are in the. Oh, no, sorry, not Nicholas Briggs, Nicholas Courtney. I was trying getting my Nicholases mixed up. We're in that as well, and it was his. It turned out to be his last appearance as the Doctor, and actually gave and it kind of made the idea for Big Finish a few years later, because in '99 they came out with all the Big Finish stories. Yeah. So one of the people you work with who also does an amazing voice is Jon Colshaw.
Yes.
And one of the things about the Third Doctor is that the Third Doctor and the Brigadier are inseparable during those years. So of course, when I heard the first time when you and Jon Colshaw were interacting, I thought, man, we are back in time. We are back to that era. So it was very moving for me. So I was wondering if you got the same reaction from fans about those interactions.
Oh yeah, absolutely. When it was announced that Jon was, because over here, Jon is famed as just a world-class impressionist, but he's also a very fine actor as well.
Yes.
Which helps. It wouldn't have been enough if he was just an impressionist doing it. He's actually a brilliant actor as well, and lovely. Yeah,
he's got the voice really dead on. I mean,
it's amazing. He's amazing. He's just amazing. He loves doing the voices. You just say, "Oh, do this voice. Do Donald Trump, or do this one," and he's happy to do it. He recorded in fact. I couldn't go to my friend's birthday party. It was his 50th, and I got Jon to record an apology in Donald Trump's voice to my friend, which was just wonderful. I mean, it was wonderful. I felt like I feel a bit cheeky asking you, Jon, but this will make his day. And he went, "Oh yes, of course. What else do you want me to do? Do you want me to do it again? He's so giving. He's just a lovely, and he's full of. We're always laughing, Jon and I, in the studio.
Yeah, that just sounds like you guys have amazing chemistry when you work together, and that's really something. And it's really. When I look forward to those stories. So I got to ask, since we're on the Collectors Podcast, do you have any Doctor Who items in your home?
Yes, I do. You mean original ones? Okay. Well, let me think.
I mean, besides your comp copies of CDs, I know you got those. Yeah.
I've got some artwork that's been given to me from various artists who have illustrated for Doctor Who. I got a plate from Blimey Sergeant Benton.
Oh, John Levine.
John Levine.
Yeah.
He we were at the studio once, and we were having lunch, and I hadn't finished my lunch, and he took my plate away from me in his excitement to help out and to clean up. I was like, "Yeah, what are you doing? I'm finished." And I think he thought I was serious, which I wasn't. I was just messing. And the next week, a friend of mine was doing a play near where John lives, and she came back with this plate saying, "I'm so sorry, Doctor. Here's your plate back." On the wings. So that's in my with it, it's signed. The actual plate was signed.
Yeah.
That's at home. Yeah. What else? I think I've got bits and pieces. I mean, I'm not at home. If I was at home now in my
oh
room,
sure, yeah.
Oh yeah, I've got that.
Right.
Yeah. So I've got a few. Not as many as you have, clearly.
Oh, well, one of my prize things, it's hard to see, but on the wall over here, this is the original artwork by Frank Bellamy for the 71 Radio Times cover for Day of the Daleks.
Wow.
And I managed to get a hold of that. The other Jon Pertwee thing that's very hard to find is his first annual.
Oh wow! Look at that.
This came out in 1969, late 69, early 70. When
it's got 60, it's got the 60s all over it, isn't it?
Oh yeah, it's pink and it's wonderful. It's these are very, very sought after. A lot of the stuff from his era is now extremely collectible. I've got puzzles, and I'm considered one of the largest Doctor Who collectors in the country. I'm not sure if that's true, but David J. Howe says so. So I thought I'll take him. Wow. He's the biggest collector in England.
Have you got enough room? Have you got a massive house?
I have a good sized house. This is my room, though. I'm limited to this room, so
okay. You have to,
I don't want it to spill. I don't want it to spill out. But
no.
It's really it's been fun. I've been collecting since 1981, and I started the first thing I ever bought was a book called Day of the Daleks, of course, the Target book.
Yes.
And I got one of the last things that Chris Achilleos did for me is he did a print of the cover and signed it to me, and I realized he did it 1 month before he died. So it's really meaningful to me. And in fact, in a few episodes, I have his widow Tasha Achilleos will be on the program to talk about his artwork, and because he drew all those. I mean, like the Auton invasion. I'll put that back up for the viewers here. He drew the artwork that basically sold these books.
Yeah,
and this came out in 74. So this is I was we didn't even get Doctor Who items in the United States until 1980, 81.
Is that one of the Target books?
Yeah.
I used to have. I mean, at Christmas,
yeah.
I remember I had some of the. They were all the Tom Baker ones.
Yeah.
And I think they just disappeared. And I had the Doctor Who annuals as well. But they've disappeared in the mists of time and various moves and house moves and things like that. I wish I still had them because I'd get them all.
Oh yeah. Actually, well, one of my I just had Peter Purvis on the program not long ago, and I asked him the same question, and I'll share the story again since you haven't heard it. But I said, "Did you ever take anything with you from the?" He said, "Yeah, I did," and then I threw it away. And he said he actually owned the Trilogic game from the Celestial Toy Maker.
Really?
Yeah,
you had the rights to
the actual game. Yeah, he got to take it home. The designer said, "Yeah, we're just gonna chuck it." So yeah, go ahead. He said it was all hand carved wood pieces and all that, and he used to play it in the corner of his home. But then he attributed it to he got essentially fired from Doctor Who with the new producer, and then he had trouble getting work. And so he kind of attributed that Trilogic game to the curse of not getting work. So he threw it away, and the very next day he got called for Blue Peter.
Oh well, wow.
So he said it's absolute rubbish that I thought that way, but I had to tell him that if he had kept it, he probably could have retired on it.
Yeah, he probably could have, exactly. Yeah,
but that's really something. Well, let's go ahead and no. When I was doing my research for this interview, I realized you have been in so many TV projects that I've watched, and I had to go rewatch them. So you were in Foyle's War, A Touch of Frost, Inspector Lewis, Midsummer Murders, Silent Witness, Father Brown, Call the Midwife, and one of my favorites, Why Didn't They Ask Evans? So
Okay. I haven't seen that yet, actually.
oh, it's very good. It's very good. And
Yeah.
the title confused me for the first two episodes, and then I finally got it at the very end. And I thought, oh, but of course I went back and rewatched a bunch of these, and I thought, man, of course, I've seen you in so many different things. Did you have a favorite TV project?
Oh, that's a very hard question.
Oh,
I've done some. I couldn't single out one really. Um, but I mean, I've done things like I did a Nordic noir, the sort of the Scandi dramas,
mm-hmm.
and I got flown out to Oslo and then to the West Indies, which was fantastic. Playing an assassin in that was great fun. It's very hard to sort of pinpoint one down. Actually, I've
Okay.
a lot of fun in a lot of them. It depends on the part as well. If it's
Sure.
if it's a nice meaty part, that does help. And if you feel that you're part of the production and you're there for days on ends as opposed to just going in for 1 or 2 days,
right.
But I mean, my bread and butter really is theatre.
Okay. Okay.
Theatre is where I've worked. I mean, sadly, because obviously the money's not as good. But,
right. Yeah.
But you're working for longer periods of time, which is a bonus. And you're, I mean, I'm a classically trained actor, so
right.
theatre, I guess, is the obvious thing I was going to be doing. But yeah, I've had a charmed career. I've had down times but a lot of good times, and obviously COVID has put paid to a lot of work. We're still recovering from that, obviously. But yeah, it's just good to be working, to be honest. When you're not working, it's pretty horrible because you sort of validate yourself by being asked to do work for people. So it's a tricky career. It's difficult, but it's how you manage it, I think, in your head, and just to accept the fun times. I for instance, I kind of fell out of love with theatre for a few years for various reasons, and then not working in theatre for 2 years with COVID, suddenly getting another job last year, theatre, I suddenly found my love again of it. So that was very, that was a very happy thing for me to rediscover that sort of passion for theatre and stuff. But I just love to work,
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. You should. Yeah.
Yeah.
I have friends who became actors, and the first thing they always come back and say is that, do something else, because this is a very difficult profession, because it's feast or famine, and sometimes more famine than feast.
Yeah.
And I've had the same. You've said the same thing that Peter Purvis told me, because he was an actor in the '60s, and he said it was even harder. And then of course I talked with Sadie Miller, who graduated drama school and then went to work at a call center. So because I always think of Patrick Swayze, who waited tables, in this country before he got anything. And but it's really something to hear that, because you clearly love what you do. And I always thought theater actors should be paid more than TV actors, because it's harder work. You got to memorize more lines. You don't get retakes, things like that. And so that's wonderful. I'm going to move to your Big Finish stories. You already talked about Destination Nerva, which was your first Big Finish appearance. And then you actually did a one with Sylvester McCoy called Gods and Monsters.
Yes.
Which you played the Ancient One.
Yes.
So that was fun. And then you worked with, you were in The Burning Prince with Peter Davison.
Yes.
You played the Lord President in Dark Eyes with Paul McGann. And then you did get to work with Peter Purvis in The Return of the Rocket Men.
That's right. Yeah, just Peter and I. That was
right. Yeah, I thought and Peter is such an amazing guy. I had a long conversation with him, and I just learned so much about. The first question I asked him was, okay, your first appearance in Doctor Who was a Dalek story. So how are the Daleks? He goes, oh, they were absolute rubbish. He's like, when you rehearse, it's a guy. The Dalek it's a half guy. And so there's no terror. There's no fear. Exactly. He says it's hard. And they take up more studio space than, it's like 3 feet of space, and they take up all of it. So he said it was just, terrible, but
he is lovely, Peter. I mean, that was another joy, because obviously I grew up with Blue Peter, and him and John Noakes and Valerie Singleton and Leslie Judd, they were sort of my era. So when I found out I was doing a two-hander with Peter Purvis. I was like, wow, you're Peter Purvis. It's very rare I get starstruck, you know.
Oh yeah, and
someone who you grew up with, you get starstruck because you go, God, you're such a big part of my youth. And I was just so delighted when after the recording you said, you fancy going for a pint? And it was,
wow,
we're going for a pint with Peter Purvis. It's amazing.
I've had that experience myself at Chicago TARDIS when I was there late at night and I went into the bar and I sat down and then somebody sat next to me and I look over and it's Peter Davison. So so he's like, so I said, can I buy you a beer? He goes, please do. Please do. Yes. And we had a great conversation. It was and just about, you know, not even about Doctor Who or work, just to talk and you know, just to have that opportunity. And of course I you know, in looking through the Big Finish catalog, it looks like the first, according to what I know, and you may correct me if I'm wrong, the first time you did the Third Doctor was a piece called Light at the End.
Yes.
And
I had a couple of lines.
A couple of lines.
Yeah.
But it kind of, that was your first entry. This is the CD. They also did a very nice vinyl edition of that, and it's very, very nice. This one, I think this one's signed by most of the people on the front cover here.
Yeah,
that is. So just amazing stuff. And of course, that's one of my favorite stories. You had, you know, of course, then, you know, that's when I think you become an official Doctor at this point. You are now the Doctor. You were playing.
No, not like the end. Not like to the end. No, that was they wanted to put in as many Doctors as possible. So I think they put in a couple of lines. And at that point, obviously, because I wasn't playing the Doctor, and, you know, with a couple of lines, it's very hard to do anything with.
Right.
So what happened was, actual being asked to be, it was David Richardson, who's one of the producers. It's a Big Finish. I was in New York, weirdly, doing a theatre show. I was doing a job with Frank Langella.
Oh wow!
King Lear in New York, and I got a phone call one January morning, and it was David Richardson. Hi, how do you fancy playing the Third Doctor? I went, what? I went, and because I was in New York and all that, I was like, yeah, all right, yeah, just let me know when you got everything sorted, and we'll talk about it. And I forgot about it, and then suddenly, my agent rang and said, oh yeah, so you're going to go do a Big Finish production in a couple of weeks' time, and suddenly I was like, oh my God, playing the Third Doctor, what? And it was just complete panic. So obviously I went hell for leather doing the research, and Big Finish made the genius, came up with the genius idea of, instead of just the recast as the Third Doctor, I played a narrator. I narrated the story, and then would do the voice, almost like as though you're doing an audio book or something like that. So that was a sort of gentle way in of testing the waters and getting fans' reactions. And luckily the fans, by and large, were, because obviously I understand the reticence about recasting a well-beloved actor who's very iconic, and that's understandable. People being a bit concerned about that, but I've been very lucky actually with the reaction, and I think if I thought about that too much, I think I might have got cold feet.
Right. Yeah, because the reaction is very positive. And in addition to yourself on that, Fraser Hines did the Second Doctor and William Russell did the First Doctor.
Yes.
So that's and I know William has done an amazing job. And of course now Stephen Noonan does the First Doctor, and he's brilliant at it, absolutely. And Michael Troughton has taken over playing his father. So that's and of course Fraser does a great Patrick Troughton. He's a good voice himself. And it's one of my favorite stories, Light at the End. But you've got a lot of accomplishments with Big Finish, so I'm gonna fast forward to the meat and potatoes here, so to speak. The Third Doctor Adventures. That's this one here. Sorry, this is the I think this is the first one.
I think it's the first one, unless it's been repackaged.
Oh, maybe. So, maybe not. This is Conspiracy in Space, The Devil's Hoofprints.
Oh, that's fairly recent.
It's recent. Okay, yeah, because I got this one also with Robert Dawes too. Oh, yeah, very good. Yeah, I liked him in.
Great. I love doing The Devil's Footprints because that's a story I remember from one of those old sort of ghost annuals I picked up at a charity. And I remember reading about The Devil's Footprints. You know, it did actually happen. This story about these footprints going over roofs, and into ridiculous places. So I love doing that particular story.
Yeah, I listened to it. It was very, very, very good. And of course, you've also got the talents of Katie Manning and Sadie Miller and John Colshaw, along with some other very good actors in here. An amazing. And of course, I'm reading here 8 volumes of Third Doctor Adventures.
I think it's now 10.
It's now 10. Yeah, there's no more.
So.
Because now we've got the Annihilators coming out, the Return of Joe Jones, and one title that hasn't been titled yet. It's
right. Oh, that's because we haven't recorded that. Because the Annihilators should be out now.
I think it is. It is. Annihilators is out.
Joe Jones is about to come out, isn't it? I think.
Yes, the Return of Joe Jones is about to come out, and I think they're taking pre-orders on this, what they call to be announced. Oh, so that's even better. So yeah, it's so definitely with that many box sets and more to come. I think you're going to be set for a while here with Big Finish.
Oh, I hope so. I mean, it's great. I mean, unfortunately, we only get a chance to record, say, 2 box sets a year, probably.
Right.
And then I'm going to do another sort of random story. So it's I'd like to do more. I'd like to do, but unfortunately,
well, it
there are other things to consider.
True. Yeah.
I love being in the studio. It's a joy to be in somewhere where being if you like, sort of the principal cast, whoever is the companion at the time, and I love all 3 of them dearly, and was John, we get to sort of create the culture and with Nick Briggs, obviously, we get to create the culture of the working environment. And that means it's always going to be naughty, and it's always going to be fun, and it's always going to be irreverent. So that's joyful as well. You know that you can go in and create a happy environment for people, and Nick Briggs facilitates that so well. Sometimes I'll go in tired or with a hangover or something like that. He'll start making me laugh. And then the next thing is we're having just a lot of fun.
Oh, that's wonderful. That's wonderful. Yeah, no, Nick's a great guy. He's come to Chicago a couple times, and we've had some great conversations with him. Now, as far as your other work here, do you have a new TV project you're working on, or anything that's coming out soon?
Yeah, there's something coming out in the next on BBC the next month or 2, I think, called Wolf, which is based on some novels. It's about a policeman, as well as solving the crimes. He's got a personal story involving his family, and my character mirrors that, because I've got a personal story involving a family member. I don't know. I'm a bit scared about how much to say that I get.
No, yeah, it's okay. Yeah,
so, you don't. It's called Wolf. I mean, it's a 6-episode thing. I think it's going to be brilliant. I think it looks really brilliant, really dark. And I'm in 4 of 6 episodes. I mean, a couple of scenes in each one, but that was a lot of fun doing that. And I'm doing a couple of movies at the moment, just a couple of small parts.
Okay.
Playing what I usually play in movies, which is policemen, or detectives. So that's something I'll be doing this January. And then. Yeah, next thing I think is Gallifrey. I think that's my next
February. Yeah,
my next bit of work, and then just hope the year unfolds with something.
I hope so too. Yeah, because that'll be fun. I've been kind of looking forward, and unfortunately now with Acorn TV and BritBox here in the United States, we get a lot of those things faster than we used to. It used to take years before programs would come over. And I will say, since you mentioned playing detectives, one thing England does is they do detective shows very well.
Yeah, what's that? Go to America.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
It's America. I mean, I grew up on Kojak and Columbo.
Yes.
And Starsky and Hutch, Chicago. Is that Chicago, Starsky and Hutch?
It might be. It might be.
Boston? I can't remember.
I can't remember. I watched that when I was a kid. Starsky and Hutch and Columbo, and I still love Columbo and all the great detectives of America. But I've been a big fan of like Inspector Morse, Inspector Lewis, Dalgleish. Now I hope they get you on a Death in Paradise sometime.
I'd love to. Yeah. Oh God, film over there. Film in the oh my God, that would be amazing. I think I've auditioned for it once, but I didn't get it. But yeah, so I'd love to. Yeah, that'd be a great job.
I know, because Peter Davison talked about being on one. And he said it was great because they got to spend a week in the Caribbean. So it was
amazing. I better
Okay.
still, if you could insist not to fly, that you have to take a cruise ship out there, that would be even better, wouldn't it?
Oh, it would. Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. Oh, just because what a fun job. It's one of my favorite go-to shows when I want to feel good, because Death in
Yeah.
Paradise is a really good
Sure.
show.
Yeah.
So many great stuff. Tim, how can fans find you on social media? Do you have a public
Oh,
persona?
yeah, I'm on Twitter. Oh gosh, do you know what? Because I do look at Twitter, but Twitter's such a I'm sorry, it's a cesspit, isn't it?
It can be.
It can be a cesspit, but I'm only on it to connect with Doctor Who fans, actually.
Right, right.
So it's at Tim Treloar 99, I think.
Okay, we'll check that and make sure it's correct in the in the
Yeah.
edits. So no problem, because I've got you. I follow you on Twitter, so I know we've.
Oh, do you? Do I follow you?
Yeah, I think so.
I
Doctor,
do. Do I?
Either the podcast or myself personally. I'm pretty sure we follow each other.
Okay. If
If not,
not,
we'll fix that.
remind me. Yeah. Remind me if I have.
No problem. No problem.
I'm
Oh, well,
not very good at my social media. That's something that actors are meant to do now.
yeah,
Is
yeah.
Instagram and things like that. I'm just the wrong generation, I think.
That's tough for me too. I think we're close to that, close in age as far as that goes, because I did not grow up with that. I started I was born in the late 60s, so it was
Yeah,
my
me too.
yeah, so that was my
What year were you born?
I was 69.
I'm 68. Damn.
Oh, so we're the exact same generation. Okay. Oh, that's wild. Yeah, I've been and
Generation X, we call it.
yeah, Generation X, and of course I'm not a slave to my phone, so that's
I am now because of work.
well, because of work, right.
Yeah.
I'm a teacher by day job.
Okay, my parents were teachers.
Oh, fantastic.
So,
yeah.
So, probably that's why I rebelled and become an actor.
Oh, wow. Yeah, it's funny because I'm a music teacher, and I'll tell you I'll tell you a quick story. When I went to college, I had two friends in the music department during my time at Illinois State University, and they both became very well-known actors now.
Really?
So one is Craig Robinson.
Oh, yes. Yes.
And the other
was in American Office.
Yes, the American Office, and the other one was Sean Hayes.
Sean Hayes. No, I know that name.
Sean Hayes played. He was in Will and Grace.
Okay, right. Yeah, I've not really watched, but I know the name.
Yeah, he's
more
of a
as well. Craig Robinson was in Doolittle as well. I was in
yeah,
Doolittle.
yeah.
He's in that as well, isn't he?
Yeah, he was a music major in college. So yeah. And I happened to be classmates with him. It was a lot of fun.
Oh, wow. I love him in the Office.
Yeah, he was great in The Office, and
that's my go-to. That's my go-to. You know, you said that Death in Paradise. You're going. The American Office is my
American Office.
Netflix go-to. If I just want something in the background, something light. And Steve Carell is just incredible.
Oh, he's amazing, and of course he did his comedy training in Chicago.
Did he?
Yeah,
of course.
Second City.
That's my girlfriend keeps saying. Oh, when you go to Chicago, you've got to go to this improv.
Yes.
There. I mean,
Second City. That's where he actually worked with Stephen Colbert at Second City. They were both, and of course they were both on the Daily Show later. So that was it. Yeah. So Chicago's produced a lot of great. A lot of great actors, a lot of great people in comedy, and of course it's been a hub. It's been a big hub for Doctor Who since the early '80s. When we had the very first big convention here in the early '80s, that's where when Gene and I were together in that business, he started thinking about how he would do things, and that's why he runs Chicago TARDIS now. So it's a lot of, and what a great time. My guest today is Tim Treloar, who voices the Third Doctor for Big Finish, and you can find all of his recorded work at bigfinish.com. And when you call them, tell them you heard about it on the Doctor Who Collectors podcast. Tim, thank you so much. This was a great conversation. Thank you for being here today.
Thank you for having me, Larry.
You're welcome. And thank you so much. Listeners, stay tuned for the most outrageous offer. Tim, that was great.
Oh, thanks. That was great fun. Yeah,
that was a lot of fun. Yeah, I always enjoy talking with actors in Doctor Who, because the enthusiasm is so there. And of course, just a side story. A few years ago, Tosin Cole came to Chicago.
Okay.
And I asked him. I said, I know that he's also like a Shakespeare actor, and I said, how did it feel the first time you were in Doctor Who and all of a sudden you got all this attention? He goes, well, at first, he says, it made him step back a little bit, but then he thought, why don't I get that attention when I do Shakespeare?
Yeah.
Or why, why don't they have a convention for this and that? And
Yeah.
this show has made so many people, very, just happy about life and happy about what a place to go, and it gives you other people to connect with. And so when I go to Chicago TARDIS now, there's 1,000 people there that all love the same thing.
Yeah.
And we may even get into heated discussions about those things and still end up, friends at the end of the day. And
it's great. It's wonderful. I love that place. For me, certain things in music do the same thing for me.
Yeah.
And knowing all this stuff about them and just complete sort of absorption in a subject. It's wonderful being among people who have that passion for something that is good, comes from a good place, and the morality is very good, isn't it? And
absolutely. And I didn't mention this before, but I'm a music teacher. That's my job.
Yes, you did.
So I did say that. Okay. Yeah. I teach music at a high school, and I've been a musician my whole life, and Doctor Who has just been a side part of this, but when I started this podcast a few years ago, I didn't know it was going to go anywhere. And then last year I got the top 90 podcasts, and I'm number 38. Wow. So I thought, whoa, how did I do that?
Yeah, it's your charm and easy wit.
I guess so. Plus, I've learned the business side of it, because I used to have I had a shop. I was partners with Gene until '89. I sold back my part of the business to him, and I went to college and studied. And then, of course, he took it and ran with it and created Alien Entertainment and doing the Visions conventions and all that. And so Gene and I have been friends for 30 years.
Okay. Well, I hope he gives you a free ticket.
He takes good care of me. Yeah, he's great. His shop is not too far from me, so I visit him often. But it's nice that because we were part of a fan club back in the 80s called the Many Companions of Doctor Who.
Right.
And so we went to the 84 convention, and one of the things about that is one of the guys in our group, he was an older gentleman. He was an artist and an actor, and and he designed a Davros chair out of a powered wheelchair. He made the rubber mask, put on a backwards leather jacket, got the hands, and we wheeled him into the convention, and he got the attention of a Doctor Who photographer. And he ended up in the 1984 summer special for Doctor Who magazine in the spread about Chicago. He's the only non-celebrity photo.
Brilliant.
Is this Davros. And I thought, wow, we've made an impression. He was a great artist. He drew all of the artwork for our fan club, and we're getting his artwork. He passed away from Alzheimer's disease some years back, and we're trying to get his artwork back into the public.
Wow.
He was amazing at what he did. So well, Tim, I know I want to get you back to your day here. Enjoy. I know you're at your girlfriend's house, and so you want to have a great rest of your Saturday. Thank you so much for sitting with me, and I will let you know when this podcast releases, so you can put it out there amongst your fans.
Please do. Thank you very much. Lovely speaking to you, Larry. And I'll see you soon, I hope.
Please do. Stay in touch. Okay.
Yeah,
you bet.
do.
Thanks,
Take care.
Tim. You
Bye.
too.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you for watching. And don't forget to subscribe if you want to see more of these great interviews on the Doctor Who Collectors Podcast. You can find us anywhere you get your podcasts, including Apple, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Pandora, and Podbean. Keep collecting.